Hello, this is Lunatic Origami from Instagram. I'm here today making a tutorial on how to treat and color origami papers. There's nothing wrong with a plain white paper, but if you want to add some personality and uniqueness to your models, making your own paper is a great choice. A good example of this is Mara using 3.5, another are models by Phyllis Flourish, a great folder and paper maker. His team also gave me an idea of trying out making my own paper. As I've seen a lot of confusion around how exactly to treat paper and people keep asking me about it, I've decided to make this tutorial explaining and teaching the process of paper treating. And for this video, I'll focus on double tissue only. This video will be split into 3 parts. First, introducing the material needed to treat paper. Second, will be the actual process of treating the paper. The third will be the basic coloring for already treated paper using acrylic paint. First and foremost, what is treating paper? Treating paper is a process of using methyl cellulose to strengthen the tissue paper in order to make it foldable. I personally has optimized some of the process, and here are the things needed to treat a paper. 2 tissue paper in color of your choice, some methyl cellulose, some hot water, a glass or simply surface, ideally glass, a brush, a plastic card similar to the flexibility of an ID card, some ethanol. First step, apply an even and thin layer of MC on the glass. As glass is a very flat and slippery surface, it will make the result paper flat and easy to peel off at the end of the process. Step 2. Spray some ethanol on the MC layer. Ideally, you want to use 75% alcohol for this process, but if you only have water, that will do perfectly. Personally, I think the ethanol will damage the paper structure less and will be faster to dry. Third step. Gently place the first paper on the glass and spray some more ethanol. Fourth step. Use your hand to stretch and flatten out the paper. Beware not to use too many pressure or you might damage the paper. Fifth step. Use a plastic card to flatten the paper more and squeeze out some of the excess MC and ethanol. Ideally, you want to find a card that has the same flexibility to an ID card that will damage the paper less and be easier to squeeze out the excess MC. Sixth step, brush the excess MC and add a bit more on the paper surface. Repeat step 2 to 6 for the second layer of paper, and let the paper dry naturally and finish the normal paper treating process. You can just peel it up and use it for origami folding, or if you want to add some color, I will show you how to do that in the next part. This is the last part of the video. Unlike others, it won't be a straight up tutorial. It will be me explaining the logic and the basic technique of coloring your paper. The only ingredient needed is acrylic paint and some ethanol, brush and water. You need to dilute the acrylic paint to a water-like consistency. Unlike normal acrylic paintings, we don't want to add layer onto the paper, which will make it very hard to fold. You want to make it sort of like an ink where you can work with like watercolor. The reason not to use watercolor is because like acrylic is a paint and watercolor are more like a powder made into a paste. So when you apply onto the surface of the paper, it will make the texture bad and bad looking for origami projects. After covering the basic ingredients, the rest is the technique and the logic of coloring a beautiful origami paper. I think a good example here would be this pufferfish I fold and the paper I made. The reason I chose this kind of color is, first of all, look at the species, what color you most likely will have, and beware to choose contrasting color so that when it is folded into a model, you can see the color. If the color are too alike, it won't make much differences. Such as this red one is the color I've chose for my ancient dragon that ancient dragon I'm folding right now. You can see that although I have some purple and red which are similar and works well with each other, I'll still have gold and black, so as contrast and pop out when you finish the model. Also found for some natural species or insects like this pufferfish, you will want to make it the same tone, the color, like brown and yellow are warm tones, and blue and green are colder tones, so that will look more natural and make the creature look more realistic. Some of the watercolor technique can also be used into paper making, like this kind of dots is when you kind of shake the pen so that the pigment will drop onto the paper. And other will use ethanol and water to make the paint flow naturally and create this kind of water-like patterns. And here are a lot of paper I've made myself. You can try and see the technique where I use and what kind of things I try to make the effect of. And as you can see, if this model is a plain white or yellow, it won't look as realistic or good looking. This is the end of the video. I hope with my tutorial and training area of your own, you can successfully make your own paper for future models. This is also the first video I filmed and edited, so any advice would be appreciated. English is not my first language, so I beg your pardon if I made any mispronunciation or miswording. Please subscribe, like, and share.